Hey y'all, what's up? Big Wooly here, and welcome back to another episode of our FTB Skies Expert Let's Play. So in today's episode, we are going to work on getting our basic universal cables all the way up through the top tier of cables automated, which means we're going to add a fluid encapsulator. We're going to add the fractioning still, making our destabilized redstone and redstone acid for us, and other things. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so in between episodes, I have been kind of working on things around the world, hoping to get some loot bees to spawn to get us more of the arcane sands that we need for our progression. Now, I did get one Godforged Pearl out of a bee so far, and that is all. But I did get one more, which puts us at 3 of those and 7 arcane sands. So let's go smash these and see if it gets us any closer. Oh, boo, we got 1 each. That is so lame. All right. Well, anyways, we're up to 10. We need, what was it, 16 for the quest? Is that correct? Yep. So we need 6 more. We'll see if we get any more loot bees throughout the episode. So I did do some work. It's not done, but we're getting somewhere on the build. So I've brought in some more of the mangrove trees over here by the apiary. We've got a waterfall coming down the hill into a pool here, and we're getting these really unique octopus things that keep killing themselves and giving me ink sacs. But they look, it looks like a cow. And changes colors. That's very interesting. But yeah, so those mimic octopus, they keep coming out of the water and they will eventually die, and you'll find ink sacs laying around everywhere. But we're getting coral and squid and tropical fish because we're in a warm ocean biome, apparently, according to our mini-map. So I thought that was fun. But I put in some benches, so, you know, if you need a minute, you can just chill right here. We'll get some bees going that aren't on simulation upgrades, just so that, you know, there's actual activity over in the apiary. Haven't done that yet. But this is what I worked on while I was waiting on loot bees. So we dug our holes, we got our water sources going, we've planted some more mangroves, and yeah, I'm kind of liking the way it's shaping up. One of the other reasons that I want to get a fluid encapsulator going is I'm pretty sure that that is our path to mud, and I would like to get some mud in over here for the decoration. So yes, we can make fluid encapsulator, dirt, water. Yeah, so we'll be able to add that as a pattern, and we'll be able to just request mud in addition to the other things that we need out of this fluid encapsulator. So let's get over here to our machine row. We do still have some channels left on this line right here. Let's see where we're at. 17. So we've got plenty. And the reason we're doing this is I think I have one universal cable left somewhere. Is it in the backpack? Yes. I literally have one power cable left. So we need this fluid encapsulator so we can make more power cables for automating more stuff. We're out. So this right here, we're going to tell it to input output from the top, auto input, auto output. That way we can toss a pattern provider directly on top of it, and it will be able to process those patterns. Now, since this has fluids and items, we're going to go ahead and tell this that we want it to go do not push if there's ingredients in there for another one, just so that hopefully nothing gets mixed up or backed up for us. Now, we are on the magenta line. Do I have any magenta cables? We do. We have a few left, so we'll grab those out, and we'll bring it over. So now this is tied in. We're going to need to go make recipes for a couple of things. We're going to need to make recipes for the steel cables just to be crafted, and then we're going to need to make a recipe for a flux duct. This is going to need destabilized redstone and the steel cable into the fluid encapsulator. So let's go get those going, but first we need to get the fluids for that in. So we'll do this, then we'll go do that. Now we're going to need power for this one as well, and this is getting a little tight and awkward. You know what? let's do the other first. So I have some of the fluids from the old setup of the fractioning still. I have them in drawers. So what we're going to, or not drawers, tanks. We're going to get them added to these two drawers right here so that they can be brought into the system. And then that way we can do our first craft of universal cables, and then we'll get our fractioning still set up to provide us with the rest of it. So we're going to need, I don't know why I'm in there, we're going to need our config card and our linking tool. And then we are going to want to remove the drawer. And then in order to keep this from filling all the other slots, we're going to need to break that pipe. And then we're going to tell it to unlock. And now I can fill this one with redstone acid. Don't ask me how it doesn't eat through the drawer, you know. And then we'll fill this side with destabilized redstone. So that'll get us started, 32 buckets of each in our drawer. So now we can lock our drawer back, we can link our drawer back, and then we can take our pipe, grab our configurator, and get this set up to keep getting us that ultra mafic lava. And it looks like it is fully backed up again. So we have 2,000 buckets of the ultra mafic lava. Awesome. Now, we need the pattern for the steel cables. We need the pattern for the next tier, the flux ducts. So we're going to tell it, here's how you make that. That's just a crafting recipe, and the copper's being automatically made. And then we're going to tell it, here is how you make a steel cable. Now, we should be able to find our pattern provider in here for that thing, fluid encapsulator, flux duct. Okay, and then we're going to come down here. I'm going to put this in. I would like to get an upgrade in there, so integral. We need to get these on AutoCraft too. Let's see if we can get some patterns for it. Integral. So we'll start at the base one. We're missing Invar plates and we're missing gold gears. So recipe for Invar plates. Recipe for the gold gear. Don't forget to take out your mold when you're making those, otherwise it'll hang the recipes up. We're going to want a pattern for Invar in the induction smelter. There we go. So that should get us everything we need to automate that first integral component right there. This should get us all we need. We just got to get everything where it goes. So induction smelter, you get Invar. Crafting recipe for you just goes here. You go in the gear one. And you go in the plates. There we go. So now we should be able to tell it integral components, make me 10. Awesome. Now let's move to the next tier, because I think we can get all the way up to at least the resonant ones because we have all of that. So we're going to need signalum gears and this. So let's go ahead and grab that one and the signalum gear. Once again, taking our gear mold out. And then for the integral resonant components, we are missing the lumium gears, but we know we have lumium in here because we did that recipe not too long ago. So we'll just clear that mold, grab our lumium gears. All right, let's put all that in, and we should be able, so 2 gears and 2 craftings. So the crafters are just here. Resonant. And then the gears are down here. 2 more gears. Now, can you make me 10 of these? Holy cow. That is so awesome. What does the next tier take? Oh, something we haven't made. Prisalium ingots. Okay. We do have ender cores, even on AutoCraft already. Enderium gears we don't. That'll be something to look into, but these should help enough the goal for these is to help speed up these thermal machines we're adding. So if we toss even just one integral component into a machine, which you can only put one of these in a machine, or at least you only get the effect of one of them in a machine, they really speed it up. So we're going to let that roll. While that's going, let's go get... Oh, we still need power. Dang it. So let's make our flux ducts. Oh, we need to go to the universal cable too. Universal. Sorry, I'm all over the map. Hope you're following. Universal cable. So that is an induction smelter recipe, and we should be able to add that in. Not a problem. So the Certus quartz dust is being sieved. Infused alloys we have on AutoCraft, and it knows how to make the flux duct. So there is our recipe for our basic universal cable. Now let's not stop there. Let's go ahead, since we have all the materials on AutoCraft for stepping this all the way up, let's go all the way up to Ultimates. And we should be able to then just request them. So one of these, the basic universals, go in the induction smelter. It looks like we're going to have to get another pattern provider onto that puppy soon. But for now, we are okay. And then the rest of them are just plain crafting recipes. And as I mentioned a couple episodes ago, we're quickly filling up on our first double row of crafters. Probably going to be about time to add another 16 crafters to the system. So are our components completing? Nope. Let's just go check on the craft. It should be in one of the big boy crafters because that's a lot of parts. So let's see. Yeah, it's in the one with the monitor, thankfully. Yeah, it's working away. We're just waiting on it. Got some ostrum that it needs to smelt, or oh no, that's for making the lumium. So right now it's smashing up the dish. Got it. Cool. All right, so that's going to take it a minute. Now we have these steel cables. I don't know if it's something that I can temporarily use to set this up and then come back and replace this with a universal. Sort of looks like that connected. Let's see. Let's go one more. And we're going to see if that actually provides power to this fractioning still. Well, it's hard to tell because the fractioning still had power in it. I don't see a little knobby there, so we may not be connecting power, but at least it has power in it. So we're going to need some gray cable, or the regular cable. Come right down. Oh. And over. And down. And this fractioning still is going to need an export card, or an export bus, sorry. And we are going to be exporting the destabilized redstone, which we're already making and storing in the other side over there. So we can tell it, export destabilized redstone, and this is going to fill, right? Yes. Oh no, it's not destabilized, it's the volatile we want to export. There we go. Now, this is going to start making two different outputs, and we should be able to bring those in with some import buses. We could probably do it with a single one, but I'm going to be honest with you, I'd just rather be simple. And it looks like these cables are doing us no good, so we're going to have to wait on our current crafting stuff to finish before we can put any more in. But we should be able to connect up these two buses. We should have put a quartz fiber in there, but I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. It should carry the channel the best way possible. And so then, as you can see, it's now clearing out those fluids on the import buses, and it will eventually just back up into this machine until the machine stops, and we will have a constant supply of redstone acid and destabilized redstone. Presto. That will allow us to basically make as many universal cables as we need, because those are the core of, you know, the converting these steel cables is the core of our universal cables. So now we should, with those I just put in there, be able to simultaneously tell it, go ahead and make me, I don't know, universal cables. I put 16 in. universal. Let's just have it make us 16 universal cables. So craft me 16 and go. Look at there, 9 out of the 10 integral components are done. Let's head out here and get some integral components in these things. Now, we're just going to go around and I am going to slap these into any that don't at least have that tier of upgrade in it to make them better. All right, I think we are fully thermal upgraded with these. Oh, not one in the blast chiller. Made this in between, or no, I made this last episode to make Mega TNT. Yep. There we go. So now we're fully upgraded and our universal cables should be done. We should be able to just tell it go all the way to 16 of the top tier. And it should spit them right back out. There we go. That gets us power over to the fractioning still. All right, y'all. So this is kind of a big one. This is, we're going to try to get our A2 back to the old base and to outer space. To do that, we're going to need to use the quantum rings. We're going to have to make them. We're going to have to link them. They're going to take up channels. They can only carry 32, but technically they could carry 32 subnets, which gives you almost infinite possibilities for what you can carry in them. It's kind of crazy, but either way, that's what we're going to get into right now because we need to automate the magically inclined steel, which I don't want to have to redo my cute little Ars Nouveau island I have over at the other base. So I think I would like to get there. And there's an auto fisher downstairs that I would really love to set up and tie in and start getting all that fishing loot that we just haven't been getting for when we need it. So without any further fuss about it, we're going to start on it. Now, a while ago, I had made this matter condenser because I was going to show you guys the process of making a singularity. But if you've been doing any kind of looting, you, just like me, probably have some in your storage. I have 3, but for those of you who have not been lucky enough to loot it or whatever, I'm going to show you how we're going to do it right now. The reason I was, looking right there is we're going to feed it water because infinite water is actually, especially with a super fast pipe, one of the easiest and fastest ways to make your singularities. So we'll just do it right here in this open floor space for the time being. Let me grab out a tank and some blue dye so that we can tie into our infinite water setup. All right, here we go. We're going to grab the extract and we're going to tell it to fill into here. Now, this is going to do nothing in and of itself. However, if we make a 64K storage disk, and there we go, one 64K storage disk later, and now you're going to see that it shows stored energy. And so right now, it's just set to destroy items. Or we can condense them into matter balls, or we can condense into a singularity. So as you can see, it's going to take 256 buckets of fluid. It can be items, it can be whatever. You can void just about anything. Like you could have it rotate with like your trash from your farms and it'll convert it at different rates. One of the reasons that I say water is one of the easiest things is, typically if you have an infinite water source, you can just pump it in here. Hi, this is Editing Wooly, and I recorded about 20 minutes worth of stuff on mute, and this is a voiceover for you. So right here, I'm talking about how I was trying to get the singularities to go faster because our thermal infinite water source just wasn't fast enough to do it in a video clip for you guys, but we're just going to pull the ones out of storage here, and we're going to head outside and make our entangled singularities. Since you now know the process to make them, you can do that in your own worlds. So this is an in-world craft. You throw down a singularity, an ender pearl, and a TNT. And then if you blow them up, you are going to get the quantum entangled singularity. I know it's crazy. You think you're going to destroy items. If you don't put the right items down, you will. You will blow up your entangled singularity that you just waited forever on. And don't ask me how I know. But there we have it. Now we have a pair of quantum entangled singularities. This is going to allow us to link up our ME rings. So now let's go ahead and craft up the ME ring and the quantum link chambers. We're going to just tell the system to go ahead and make us the 4 for 2 sets so we can connect the old base and the space station. All right, go gadget crafting thingy. Now that we're done, here we are over in our main AE2 things area, and we're going to just toss this quantum link ring right above the main network. We want this on the P2P side of the network, not on the connected device side, because we're going to carry P2P tunnels through the ring. So this needs to be on the main backbone, and it will only take up a single channel. Should be able to pull power from the controller that's already got power on this subnet. So there we go. Now we're showing the devices online. Last little thing we've got to do is we need to throw in our quantum entangled singularity. Right now I'm showing you it doesn't use any channels because the ring itself doesn't consume a channel, only the devices that you connect to it on each end. So until we have something on the other side and have the other side linked up, there's not going to be any channels in use. But as you can see, it shows device online, and that is going to get this end taken care of. Now we just need to take the other half of that quantum entangled singularity and set it up in space. If you're messing around with your infinite water source, please make sure you grab your spacesuit before you go to space, because you'll freeze to death because there's no oxygen, because there's no water in your oxygen stuff. Don't ask me how I know. So for those of you that didn't catch it, I also left my backpack on the armor stand right there, and that's going to play a crucial role here in a minute. But we're going to set this up in the room with the implosion crafter, implosion compressor, because that's where we need the channels to be able to auto craft. And we're going to put it right here in this corner, flat against the wall. Same as before, toss the quantum link chamber in the middle, ring around the outside, hence why they call it a ring. But you're going to notice this side is showing offline. You need to be able to power your quantum link ring, quantum ring link on the other end. And it is going to take an energy acceptor or some form of AE2 creative power, which we don't have. And so I was having some trouble right here getting this thing online. I really hope I didn't record a bunch without audio, but if I did, I will hopefully do voiceover. So this here, it didn't want to come online at first. And so I've tried a couple things. This has a GPS data card supposedly sending power from over here. But what I noticed was as soon as I put that card in, it was not lighting up like it's sending any power out to anything. But as soon as I take it out, now it's lit up and it starts to flicker like it's sending power. So I don't think the GPS data card to that was what did it. Let me show you what I think did take care of the issue for us. So the other thing is I do seem to remember there needing to be like an energy cell on this side as a power buffer from when I've dealt with this in the past. So I think what we should do is something like that. And then maybe it'll come back. There we go. So now there's a little bit of a power buffer on this side. And it's obvious that it wasn't this energy acceptor because that's not getting power from anywhere. And now we're online. So this is tied into our backbone network where all of our P2P tunnels are. And the cool part about that is that we're going to be able to just pull a channel off of here. And it should be able to take a P2P tunnel, which I forgot to get, and we should be able to connect it up to our new base. So let's go grab a frequency, a P2P tunnel, and a memory card. So P2P tunnel. So we'll grab one of these. Let's make a new memory card. Let's go grab some of those frequency, or one of the frequencies from up here. Just any of these that we've got set up that aren't being used. Right here's fine. Let's go back to space and let's see if we can't get this thing online. Now, the setting I did change was on the flux point. I turned on power surge and I ticked the chunk loading box, and that was when this finally came online. So now what we ought to be able to do is we want to grab out some dense cable, and we're going to put some dense cable right here on the other side, because this dense cable is where we're going to put our P2P tunnel facing. Now, you'll see it says device online but unlinked. If we right click it, now we have 32 channels to a P2P tunnel to our main ring right here in space. So we should be able to, oh, I need an item frame. I forgot an item frame. We should be able to bring this over and down and put a pattern provider right here. Now, the problem is going to be we need to get in and out of this block. So I think this is going to be one of those cases where we might want to pull back and put the pattern provider in another spot. Oh gosh, I'm missing my Paxel. So we'll grab a pickaxe. So we might want to put the pattern provider up one and use some laser IO or a storage or a chest to get things in and out of this, because it's just items. So, but we're going to need to be able to input and output, and this can't auto output. So we'll put our pattern provider right here, and then let's give it a diamond chest. And then this will be linked with 2 laser nodes from my backpack, if I can find the right button. Do I have 2 laser nodes? Looks like I don't have 2 laser nodes. So here's what we're going to do. I mainly just wanted to show you this ring. Let's go back to the other side and see if we see this pattern provider linked to this diamond chest. And I think that's going to make for a good wrapping up point for the episode. So if we come up here to our pattern access terminal, we should now have access to a new pattern provider tied to a diamond chest with no patterns in it. There you go, right there. So this top row diamond chest is going to be our implosion crafter in space. We're going to be able to use that to make our plates efficiently and be able to export all of the right different TNTs with materials to have them processed and spaced without us having to go up there and do that anymore. I hope you guys have been able to learn something. I hope that I did not record on mute for 10 minutes and that all of the stuff about the quantum link rings came through all right. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you all in the next episode.